I never planned to fall in love. I was the kind of man who liked routine, silence, and space. I never wanted marriage, I never wanted kids, I never wanted that life of sharing everything. I said that with conviction because, for a long time, it worked. Until the day she moved into the apartment next door and I felt, right away, that something inside me had changed direction. I didn't know anything about her, but I knew one thing. I wanted to win that woman over. And, the way I am, I needed to do it methodically, without humiliating myself, without seeming invasive, without turning the building into a stage. So I did what I always do when something scares me. I made a plan and followed it step by step. First, I set a rule for myself. I wouldn't force encounters and I wouldn't insist on anything. I didn't want to be that neighbor who shows up too much and suffocates. I wanted to be noticed naturally.
If this feels familiar, take a second. Tap like. Subscribe for more stories like this and hit the bell so you don't miss the next one.
So my first step was simple. I started existing in the hallway the right way. No hiding. No rushing back inside. Whenever I ran into her, I kept a calm posture, a light presence, and I left at the right time. No dragging it out. No anxiety. Just showing that I was a normal man. Polite, steady, confident. Second step, I used neutral topics to open a path. Instead of trying to be funny or seductive, I started with the obvious, with what doesn't create discomfort. Adjusting to the building, moving routines, practical things. The goal was to make her feel comfortable talking to me, not impressed. I understood early that trust comes before attraction. Third, I offered help, but in an objective way and without pressure. I didn't want to promise the world or stay available as if I didn't have a life. I just wanted to make it clear, simply, that if she needed something basic, I could help. And more importantly, I offered once and didn't repeat it. I wanted her to feel that I respected her space. Fourth, I created discrete coincidences. I adjusted my schedule a little to increase the chances of crossing paths with her at normal building times, like leaving in the morning, end of the day, elevator, lobby. I didn't hover around her door. I didn't wait in the hallway. I just stopped living locked away and started circulating at the times any resident would. It was my way of giving chance more opportunities without turning it into stalking. Fifth, I started marking my territory in the quietest way possible. Usefulness. I became the neighbor who fixes things, not the neighbor who asks. I'd give a quick tip about something in the building, mention a detail that could help, pass along practical information. I wanted her to associate my presence with ease, not with work. Sixth, when I saw that she already recognized me and didn't show discomfort, I moved up a level. I started slipping in light questions about her, but always without invading. Simple, surface-level things that allowed conversation without obligation. I didn't want to pry her life story out of her. I wanted to build familiarity. Seventh, I made the first invitation intelligently. I didn't try dinner or going out as if it were dating. I chose something short, casual, and easy to decline without making it weird. Like a quick coffee nearby, a neighborhood bakery, a place that's useful for someone who just moved in. The logic was clear. If she said yes, great, I gained time with her. If she said no, I didn't destroy the building's day-to-day coexistence. Eighth, I controlled myself so I wouldn't speed up. That was my biggest effort. When I like someone, I want to skip steps. But I understood that rushing makes you seem needy or manipulative. So I kept consistency, the same tone, the same respect, the same calm. I didn't disappear and I didn't cling. I stayed steady. Ninth, I started showing real attention, not cheap compliments. I paid attention to what she mentioned, and later I remembered. Not as an obvious strategy, but as discreet care. I didn't need to tell her she was beautiful all the time. I needed to show, through small details, that I was truly listening. 10th, I improved my own life so I wouldn't put on her the burden of completing me. I took better care of my appearance, my energy, my mood, my apartment. Not to fake perfection, but to be a man who adds something. I didn't want to win someone over looking like an unfinished project that needs to be saved. 11th, I kept increasing the closeness over time, without declarations and without drama. One short meetup became another. A hallway conversation became a few more minutes. A little trust became more openness. Everything in layers. I made it clear through my actions that I wasn't demanding anything in return, just building space. And in the last step, the hardest, I accepted that truly winning someone over means taking a risk. I stopped trying to control the ending and focused on what I could control, being decent, being consistent, and being respectful. Because, deep down, the bigger change wasn't her showing up. It was me realizing I was willing to go against everything I used to say about myself, just to have a real chance. And that's when I understood I wasn't just trying to win over the woman next door, I was trying to win over a life I always pretended I didn't want.
If you want to understand love without the illusion, keep going. Watch the next story now. Same emotions, sharper lessons, and a twist you won't see coming.